What's going on, my Super Saiyan sandwiches? UnrealEntGaming here today, once again presenting yet another episode of this week's fan mail of the week. Everybody, we are almost near towards April. Everybody, we're a few days away, about to be removed from the month of March, and what a month it has been. April is right around the corner, which means Revival of F is relatively soon, sooner than we think. Of course, for the people in Japan, because we have to wait a long ass time for us to see the movie, of course. But anyways, guys, I mean, we're just about to be removed from March. So many things have been happening. Xenoverse battles left and right. We have Dying Light. We have awesome games dropping now. Finally, E3's around the corner. It's just about almost 2 months away. So that's going to be really awesome to watch. Because there are going to be a whole bunch of new games that we're going to be looking forward to, such as Uncharted and the new Call of Duty game and stuff like that. Mortal Kombat X. So, you know, we have a time frame to look forward to a lot of stuff, including a lot of great movies, Jurassic World and Star Wars and, you know, the Avengers and Revival of F. So a lot of things happening thus far. So I want to thank you guys for sticking by and watching this week's episode. And before we begin, as always, guys, don't forget to check out my second channel at UnrealEnt Network, where you can watch a whole bunch of awesome Dragon Ball Z battles, Xenoverse battles, WWE battles, a whole bunch of awesome stuff that you probably won't find on here, including some really awesome discussions. As of late, we've been having some really awesome debates and whatnot. So you might want to go on ahead and check that out. Now, let's begin with our first question of the week, everybody, and it is from Mr. Deathstroke the Terminator. Hey Alex, how are you? I'm doing relatively good. You are the best. I look at every one of your videos. You make it up to now. Now on to the questions. Thank you, man. Question number 1. How would Deathstroke fare in Resident Evil? Ooh. Do you think he would survive? Question 2. Galactus versus the powers of Beerus and Whis fused. Question 3. When are you planning to marry a woman and get kids? Question 4, are you planning to watch every single Marvel movie coming out? I would. Question 5, what would you do if you wake up and see Justin Bieber and One Direction and Miley Cyrus having a gangbang on your bed? Those are all my questions for today. And let me tell you a secret, don't tell anyone, but Yamcha is gay. Peace. Well, I think we just made that perfectly open to the public. So, thank you for the questions, man. To answer your first question, can you imagine Deathstroke in the Resident Evil universe? He would do really good. Deathstroke would definitely survive. Deathstroke is a character that can embody and actually adapt to his environment, and Deathstroke is really good when it comes down to hand-to-hand combat, when it comes to weaponry. Deathstroke is not a dumbass. You know, Deathstroke can actually hold his own, and against a bunch of zombies, hell yeah, like Deathstroke would be able to keep up with them no problem. I think personally that Deathstroke would be the first one to eliminate most of the tyrants. He would be, I think Deathstroke would survive such a long period of time. I think the only factor would be that if somehow he ran out of bullets, I think he would use his sword. But aside from that, I really don't see anybody defeating Deathstroke in the Resident Evil universe. His precision is so good, and when you're combating these lickers and, you know, hunters and dead dogs and, you know, zombies and tyrants and Nemesis, I think would be the only one that would probably give him a fight, because Nemesis has a giant, like, fucking minigun in his hand, and he has, you know, a rocket launcher in the other, and if Nemesis were to drop those weapons, I think hand to hand he would give Deathstroke a great fight. But now that I think about it, yeah, Deathstroke would definitely just overpower everybody, even Hunk. But if there's anybody that I believe would probably be the only one aside from Nemesis, it would probably be Albert Wesker. Now, Wesker is a very formidable foe for anybody out there who's a Resident Evil fan. Everybody already knows that Wesker did his fair share of destruction, and Wesker is known for being one of those guys that would literally go out and you know, do what needs to be done to prove his point. So I think Albert Wesker would be one of those guys that would go above and beyond to make sure that you know, Deathstroke is dead. But as for Deathstroke, aside from the, you know, main bosses, Deathstroke would hold his own like crazy. Like, he would be the only survivor, I think, in the entire universe. So, to answer your second question, Galactus versus the powers of Beerus and Whis. Beerus and Whis would definitely win. Just definitely win. Combining that kind of power and having that be infused into one body, there's no way I think any being out there would be able to even compete. There is no being out there that would be able to compete in anything that the powers of Beerus and Whis does. Their overall power, their speed, their intelligence, their ability to counteract. Everything they do would be, like the pinnacle of power. So there's no way Galactus would be able to compete with such speed and endure such power. So I think the powers of Beerus and Whis would cripple Galactus. Like, there's no way. Galactus wouldn't last. Galactus would get fucking blasted away, like just infinitely blasted away. I mean, that's just that. So I would have to go with Beerus and Whis. To answer your third question, when am I planning to get married and have kids? Well, that is a very good question. A very touchy question because it's kind of hard. Looking at today's generation, especially in my neighborhood, there are a lot of girls that don't tend to take guys serious. They don't tend to take life serious. And quite frankly, I don't want to ever get married to a girl who's been around the block, if you know what I'm saying. Like, who wants to marry a whore? Nobody. And I know a lot of hoes, man. I know a lot of them. I've seen most girls that I thought were such, girly girls and innocent girls, and later down the road they became the worst of monsters. So I wouldn't want to marry a woman like that because it would set a bad example towards my kids. It would give me a pretty much a bad look because it's like, oh, look at that guy, he married a whore. It's like I wouldn't want my wife to be known as that, So for me, the day I get married would be the day I find someone first. It's incredibly hard because, like, finding the right person could go a long way. And what I mean by that is, like, you tend to, like, start over continuously with new people. It's like you do the whole meet and greet thing and you have to start from scratch, and you have to nitpick to see if they're the right ones or not by taking apart their characteristics from their features, like their mentality, their personality, their physical features, and you have to take those apart and you have to look at certain things like, is this the right person for me? So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I am very picky. For years I never really thought that I'd be picky. I was like, no, I'm not really picky, but I am. I'm very picky. So for me, it would have to be a woman that I truly have known for a long time, per se. I mean, things can play out differently in the future, and of course I would love to have kids, and I would love to have them get into what I got into when I was a kid. Having them just kind of like have like a glimpse of what my childhood was like. And but before I get into that, I'm gonna have to find myself, a woman, so a woman credible enough to marry, because a lot of these women nowadays, guys, don't be deceived. They play way too many games than guys. I mean, the only reason why guys are the way they are today is because of women. Women tend to, and not all women, but most women, they either get their hearts broken or they either get rejected by the girl, or something happens and it causes their entire mentality to switch and just say, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to do what I have to do to, get back at that person or just continue to live my life, and they go about that. So for me, I guess when she comes along the road, I will definitely snatch her up before anybody else could, and I'll just take it from there, to be honest. Because you have to take it. Yeah, you have to take it step by step. You can't just be like, all right, I want to marry you right now. And it's just like, what the fuck? You can't do that. So I guess when the time is right, she'll come along. So to answer your fourth question, yes, I will be watching every single Marvel movie this year, except for probably, I'm kind of on fence with this, but Ant-Man. Ant-Man is a movie that I'm a little on the fence about because it just doesn't intrigue me. It's just like, man, really? Like, this isn't really going to seem like it's going to be good. Of course, the Avengers and everything else, but Ant-Man, it's like, I don't know about that one. So I'm on the fence, though, because it's like, how could you sell me to get into that movie? Like, I pitch it to me, like, give it to me, like, let me know why I should invest my time into this film. So aside from that, probably everything else for sure. And to answer your last question, if I saw Justin Bieber, One Direction, and Miley Cyrus having a gangbang on my bed, I would take a picture and I would fucking sell that picture for millions of dollars. I would kick him out and I'd be a fucking multi-millionaire by like overnight. I'd be like, who wants to buy a picture of Miley Cyrus taking it in the butt by like 6 guys? Say aye. So But anyways, Mr. Deathstroke, thank you for the questions, man, and I hope you have a very, very awesome weekend, my friend. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Unlimited. Hey, Alex, hope this makes it to fan mail. Well, it did. Question number 1, were you offered a position in Dragon Gate USA? Would you accept or reject it? If I were to... Okay. Question number 2, what are your thoughts on BXL interfering in the match between Ricochet and AJ Styles? Question 3, if you were to put a tag team match against Crimson and Red, who would you choose as a partner? Well, I don't know what you mean by partner, I suppose. Question number 4, ROH or TNA, which is a better company? Hope you get to answer them, and if it would be great for the people if you can answer them, peace. All right, well, thank you, Mr. Unlimited. Well, to answer your first question, no, I was never offered a position in Dragon Gate USA, but if I were offered a position in Dragon Gate, you can bet your ass that I would take it. You'd be a fool not to take the opportunities in wrestling, because opportunities in wrestling are very scarce. I've come across a lot of snakes. I've seen a lot of fake people. I consistently deal with fake people. There's one person in particular who I don't really like, because I feel as if he gets ahead of the curve by politicking his way up, and that's not really the essential way to go, especially if you want to make a mark in this industry. You do it by, legitimately busting your asshole, not, going behind the scenes and, making a scene. So if I were offered a Dragon Gate position, of course I would take it. I would never reject any position given to me from any company. So if there is a company out there that would like to give me a position, I would accept it. I mean, I wouldn't sit there and just say no. I would definitely accept the opportunity. To answer your second question, my thoughts on BXL interfering in the match between AJ Styles and Ricochet. What a cowardly thing to do. BXL, I mean, just trying to seize his opportunity, even though he has the contract. He had the contract to pretty much cash in at any given moment. He saw the opportunity between AJ and Ricochet, and those two beat the mess out of each other, by the way. So I guess he saw that. He kind of saw that as an opportunity to just, swindle his way in there and just, allow himself to become a champion. And you know what he did? He beat Ricochet for the world title, and for that, good for him in essence, But I felt as if, if he really wanted to be that champion, he should have waited to cash in one-on-one instead of just waiting around and saying, I'm just going to wait until these two beat the shit out of each other. I mean, it's an opportunistic way of thinking, and he did capitalize on all aspects. But, Ricochet and AJ Styles, they put on a great show, and BXL, if he wants to go down that route, he did it, and he pretty much won himself a title. Good for him. If I ever come across him, and if he ever crossed my path, I'm pretty sure that things will go out of hand, especially with what he's been doing lately at the House of Glory. He's been positioning himself in very various peculiar positions, and he does have a little crew, so to say, to back him up, but it's not like I didn't go through anybody else, hence cash flow, to get to where I am. So if me and BXL ever cross paths, let's just say that I'm not the type of person to cash in on someone who's down on the ground. I'm willing to cash in when you're fresh. That way, when I beat you, there is no complaints. But for him beating Ricochet, I mean, that's a big thing, And good for Brian XL. If he wants to go down that path, let him go down that path. And what more can I say about that? Well, to answer your third question, if I had to put up a tag team match against Red and Crimson, if I had to pick two competitors, I would put Bad Influence, Kazarian and Mr. Christopher Daniels. Christopher Daniels is an amazing competitor, and I think Bad Influence versus Amazing Red and Crimson would be a very good match, in my opinion. I think that would be one. Another one would be the Briscoe brothers from Ring of Honor. Anybody out there who's a wrestling fan and who knows of Ring of Honor, about the Briscoes, and the Briscoes versus Crimson and Amazing Red would be awesome. So I would say Bad Influence and the Briscoes. And to answer your final question, not knocking TNA, but I would say Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor is a better company. Ring of Honor has better storytelling. Ring of Honor has, I guess you could say, more influence on the wrestling industry now than TNA. TNA, it is what it is. They pretty much effed themselves over a lot. It's no secret. So for me, I would have to say Ring of Honor is a better company than TNA. I mean, who knows? Maybe later on down the road in the future, something might happen with TNA, and TNA can just, boom up right off the ground and go back to what they were. But, I really doubt that, especially with New Japan and Global Force Wrestling and all that kind of stuff. So, good for TNA into whatever it is they do. But for me, I would have to say Ring of Honor. So, but anyways, Mr. Unlimited, thank you for the questions, my friend, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Falcon Caliform 61. Hey, Alex, I've been trying to get on Fan Mail of the Week for freaking 45 years. So here are my questions. Well, you're on it now. Once again, I want to apologize because there are so many people that want to get on here. You're not the only one, so I guess you're on now. So question 1. How do you feel about Revival of F? Question 2. Would you agree with me if I said that Gogeta is too powerful? Okay. Question 3. How do you feel about all the fucking transformations which GBZ should be dubbed Transformers? Well, I hate to be that guy, but you spell the word witch wrong. It's W-H-I-C-H, not, W-I-T-C-H. You're making it seem like it's like an actual witch, like a wicked witch. Just saying. But I see the little Transformers reference you have there. Those are all my questions I need to get out. And God fucking bless you. Thank you. P.S. Fuck you, Real! Alright, well, to answer your first question, how do I feel about Revival of F? I feel very good going into this film. I feel very good knowing that this film is going to be incredibly awesome. Now, Revival of F's ending can go one of many ways. For me personally, we're gonna have to wait and see like how that goes, because I really want to know who's going to be that guy to defeat Frieza or even do other things in and of itself. I really want to see how certain things are going to come about, like, for example, the outcome between Goku and his Super Saiyan form, and I want to see if Whis is going to get up in the mix and possibly be the hero. There are a lot of things that I essentially cannot wait to see, and by the way, like, the way the movie's shaping out so far, like, it seems incredibly awesome, so for me, it's just that much of a better influence to see how that's going to progress, and I cannot wait to see how exactly the movie is going to come about. But I have a very, very good feeling about this film because it's going to open up doors to so many other things, and that's where I feel like so many people are just misconstruing it and just not seeing the bigger picture here. Dragon Ball Z Revival of F is going to open up doors for a lot of things, guys. Essentially, perhaps maybe a third movie, and so many other things to happen. So, I'm just very happy that we're getting another film, because this is going to mean a lot towards the Dragon Ball Z community, So for me, I would essentially say that I think the movie is 99% ready. The only thing about the movie that I dread is the fact that I really wonder how they're gonna go about the film in terms of like time frame, in terms of like everything else. For me personally, I think that the movie is going to tell a way better story than Battle of Gods, even though a lot of people hated Battle of Gods, and I really, really do not see why. They hate Battle of Gods because they feel as if, there was too much talking and not enough action, and it was the worst film in the series, when in reality, it had the best story, I feel, and it had a lot of things going into the film that was pretty cool. So, for Revival of F, I cannot wait to see the action sequences. I really want to see how Goku and Frieza are going to engage. I really want to see Vegeta become a Super Saiyan right in front of Frieza and just be like, yeah, what's up now, bitch? You remember this? Now I'm going to use this to kick your ass. And I want to see Frieza just be like, you Saiyans make me laugh. I discovered a form more powerful than that. And it's just like, whoa, really? But yeah, going into this film, I just absolutely cannot wait, man. To answer your second question, Gogeta, wow, well, I don't think Gogeta is too powerful per se. I think Vegito is too powerful. Vegito essentially has no equal. I mean, if he fought Beerus, then we've found an equal for him. If he fought Whis, we found an equal for him. If Gogeta fought Vegito, Vegeta would win. So it's like Gogeta isn't essentially too powerful. I would have loved to seen Super Buu Ultimate Gohan Absorbed combat Gogeta, because that right there would pretty much solidify whether or not Gogeta would be as powerful as you say he is. But since that never happened, we can't really know. And the only, proof that we have is him battling Janemba. So Janemba versus Gogeta, depending on how strong Janemba was, they did need a fusion to defeat him, and they defeated him relatively quickly. So, yeah, Gogeta is strong. Gogeta is very, very strong. Don't get me wrong. Gogeta is one of the strongest characters in the universe, but I don't think he's too powerful. I think he can be beat. And believe it or not, I think Gogeta could be outsmarted. I don't think Gogeta is as smart as a lot of people depict him to be. He has the characteristics of Goku and Vegeta, so that right there just essentially means that he's able to goof off and do whatever. So for me, I don't think he's as powerful as you say he is. I would fill that in with Vegito. And to answer your third question, yes, there are a lot of transformations within Dragon Ball Z. But that's what makes Dragon Ball Z so special. What makes DBZ so special today is the fact that, you watch it and you're like, wow, like this dude cannot beat the other guy because, essentially of the power upgrade and stuff like that. So I feel like transformations are needed because it tells more of an elaborate story. The fact that you need an upgrade to combat these people, it's just like, even though like not everybody has a significant transformation that would go, oh man, like Goku's the only one that can become a Super Saiyan 3. Gotenks is the only one that can become a Super Saiyan 3. Everybody else can, well, aside from everybody else, of course, Vegeta could become a Super Saiyan 2. Gohan, he has his ultimate level. He doesn't really need to transform, but apparently in the movie he will, so that just raises a lot of questions. But yeah, I see where you're coming from with the whole too many transformations thing, but in an essence, where would we be without the transformations, We'd be stuck in like one universe, or everybody would get sick and tired of regular Super Saiyan. So, but anyways, my friend, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have a terrific and awesome day, my friend. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Jose. Alex, you are amazing. Here are my questions, man. All right, cool. Thank you, by the way. Question number 1, thoughts on the state of zombie movies? Why do you think they're slacking? Question number 2, is there any way that Resident Evil can go back to the way it was before? Very good question. Question 3, thoughts on girls who destroy nice guys just to know what it feels like to get hurt? Well, thank you for the questions, Mr. Jose. To answer your first question, thoughts on the state of zombie movies? Well, World War Z is supposed to begin its shooting this year, supposedly, if everything goes good. And it's supposed to be making a release date of 2016. Give or take, if it's going to be done by then. If anything, they're looking towards a 2017 release, right around the same time where Pacific Rim 2 is going to be dropping. But aside from World War Z 2, we don't fucking have any other zombie movie. We don't have any zombie franchise. We don't have anything zombie related anymore because, quite frankly, as much as it sucks to say this, because I am a huge zombie fan. I love the art of zombies. I love the storytelling behind a zombie apocalypse, but these movie directors, these producers, these Hollywood big shots, they don't see any money in zombie films. And it really sucks to say that. It really fucking does, man. Because I love zombies. And I mean good zombie films. I don't like those shitty fucking indie zombie films. I don't like those mainstream washed up zombie films that they freaking just so happen to reboot or remake. Zombie movies like Resident Evil, which fucking suck. Every single Resident Evil movie sucks. And there's nobody that can refute that. Especially if you play the game. Even if you don't play the game, even if you've never played Resident Evil before, just by watching Resident Evil that it sucks, because this one woman is running around karate chopping and nunchucking zombies in the head. It makes no fucking sense. Now, for World War Z 2, that is the only zombie movie that's going to be released that I know of, mainstream, of course. But yeah, the zombie franchise is lacking because, number one, people just don't see money in it, quote unquote, and honestly, there is. There is a lot of money in the zombie franchise. Go look at The Walking Dead. That's all the proof you need. #1 fucking show on cable television. #1 show on television, period. When that shit is on, everybody goes to the AMC network. Why? Because they want to watch the fucking Walking Dead. Of course, now, The Walking Dead does have a lot of, talking, a lot of, storytelling between the humans, of course, because what are the zombies going to do the whole time? Like, it's just, it's not going to make sense just to focus on the zombies. You have to tell a story, per se. You can't just have meaningless blood and gore. But, I mean, with the state of movies now, superhero films like making endless amounts of money, and now kaiju movies are starting to come up in the mix, like Godzilla and Pacific Rim, and who knows, maybe we're gonna get other big robotic monster fest alien type movies. But kaijus are starting to come along because you have Godzilla and Pacific Rim. But superheroes right now is #1, and it cannot be touched. It cannot be touched. I love zombies. I love this. I love the old school state of zombies, like the way George A. Romero had it, the way the old school zombie movies came out between the years of 2000 and 2008. Aside from some of the shitty movies like Day of the Dead 2008, which was crap, there were specific movies that were good, but I mean, zombies, the only way the zombie franchise can get a giant reboot and a giant kick in the ass for it to begin the way it should be and the way to kick it off the right way is for us, the fans, to start generating a lot of talk, a lot of, buzz around these movies. That way they can just, get the blood flowing. So if we're able to do that, if we as fans are able to create an influence, maybe then we'll get more, but until then we're going to have to wait and just see what they're going to do, man, to be honest. Which leads me into your second question. Resident Evil, as of late, as of the last couple of years, sucks. I mean, Jesus Christ. Resident Evil. I love Resident Evil. I followed the franchise from 0 to 1, 2 to 3, 4 to 5, even 6. Code Veronica. Fuck it. I even played Gaiden. Outbreak, file #1. Outbreak, file #2. Chronicles. I've played them all. Revelations. And you know what? Over the last couple of years, they're making Resident Evil, which could be the highest grossing zombie franchise ever if they decided to remove their heads out of their asses. They take the franchise and they butcher it. They just completely butcher it. I mean, they're saying, oh, well, we don't see survival horror as a thriving franchise anymore, because we're Hollywood and we're mainstream and we know what's best for business, or at least that's what these giant CEO men in suits want to think. They want to tell us how things should be done when we are the ones that buy their crap. And I'm not buying into Resident Evil crap anymore. Revelations #2 was good. It is good. It looks good. It's great. It certainly doesn't reminisce on the old. Well, it does in a sense. It brings you back to the old school Resident Evil. But what I think they need to do is follow the way Shinji Mikami did The Evil Within. I'm not trying to say make the game ridiculously hard. I'm not trying to say that completely abolish action. I'm not trying to say that, we ought to go back and just do straight horror, like nothing but horror. Yeah, I mean, as much as I would love that, but in a reality standpoint, if the entire franchise is based on zombies and the T virus and all that kind of shit, keep it that way. Of course, always be, different in essence, just reinvent yourself, reinvent the product, but don't turn that shit into fucking Call of Duty, because that's what killed it in the first place. So Resident Evil, is there any way to go back to the way it was? Yes. Remove heads from butts. That's #1. #2, strictly do survival horror. Look at the way Silent Hills, the upcoming PT Silent Hills game is doing. It's fucking horror, man. And it's just freaky. It really is. Why? Because they're introducing a survival horror element only. They're not doing none of that other BS, so that's the only way they can just make the franchise just, I guess you could say, revamp itself, is for them to just do that. Strictly survival horror. And to answer your final question, girls who destroy nice guys to know what it feels like to get hurt. I can't fucking stand people like that. I really can't. If you're a female and you're watching this and you did that before, I hope you're real proud of yourself, There are a lot of guys that walk the face of this earth that are genuinely good guys. They're good people. They have morals. They have respect. They have a future. They want to create a future. And all they want is love. And you know, the simplicity of human beings, we grow up as children into adults. We follow the system. We go to work. We dress accordingly. We work out. We do what needs to be done. All for sexual attraction. Just for us to find mates, right? We find ourselves a mate. We reproduce. We have offspring. We have children. We help those children grow up. We grow old. We die. Life goes on, right? It's an endless cycle. And it sucks just thinking that way. But it's true. A lot of guys, they do a lot. They do a lot of shit to get the attention of that one girl. And that one girl just so happens to be the very bitch that pretty much allows him to implode on himself. She creates a monster. She knows that she created a monster. And she decides to bail, unleashing the monster upon the populace. And that monster begins to do the exact same thing that she did to him. And he begins to break hearts. He begins to hurt girls because he knew what it was like to get hurt himself. Girls who do that, girls who go about and tarnish nice guys and the whole cliche of nice guys finish last. You know what? That may be true, but nice guys, they're the ones that exceed the most. All these bad boys, all these dudes running around claiming that they're hard ass and, you know, they have all this swagged out shit. Man, let me tell you something. The people that run this world are essentially nerds. Think about that for a second. Think about that for 1 minute. All these trillionaires, these billionaires, you think they're from the streets? You think they have tattoos all over their face and piercings, and you think they drive, you know, Mustangs? You think they do like 1,000 pull-ups on a bar? You think they have a six-pack? You think they're 6'6", chiseled out of stone? You know? You think they drink and smoke, occasionally go to clubs? No, they don't. They're rich entrepreneurs. They're nerds, but they're nerdy in their own little aspect. They know everything it is about business, about virtually anything to get into. And girls, when they see a nice guy, an intelligent guy for that matter, they just decide, oh, well, you know, fuck him. He's just a nerd. I don't care. It breaks my heart, man. I've been rejected by girls. I've been destroyed by girls, but I moved on. You know, life goes on. We've all had. Every single guy watching this has been destroyed by at least one girl. At least one girl has tarnished him in a sense, you know? And I can't fucking stand that shit. I mean, me, I wouldn't go about saying that I've broken girls' hearts, because I did. And I'll own up to it. And I have owned up to it. Am I wrong? Absolutely. But the reason why I've broken so many hearts is because of that one girl, or that other girl, or that other girl that I decided to go after, that I truly invested my time in, and she just broke me down. Girls who do that, guys, and if a girl ever breaks you like that, you shouldn't break to begin with. You're a man. Don't be a pussy. You're a man. Don't be a vagina. Don't let someone's comments butthurt you. If you go after a girl and she turns you down, and you've been going after her for a while, and you literally invested your time and your money and your energy into this person, and she says no, don't fucking cry about it. Move on with your life, because there are more girls out there that would appreciate that. Of course, don't ever forget what she did. Forgive her for it, because then she has no power over you. But don't just stand there all sobby, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Don't ever allow a woman or a man or anybody else to ever break you down like that. Because when they do, you begin to lose self-confidence in yourself, and then, God forbid, other things happen. Girls who destroy nice guys, horrible. Guys who destroy nice girls, horrible. The fuck is going on, man? We can't all just get along, coexist. I like you, you like me. Let's move on. I like you, you don't like me. Fine, let's go our separate ways. But instead, some things just tend to happen, and I'll never understand why. It's just a part of life. And I know I'm a little preachy right now, but that's just the essence of it, you know. And Jose, you really gave me like some fucking hard ass questions, man. Not in essence hard, but like I'm ranting. Like your portion of the fan mail is just rant. But anyways, Jose, thank you for the questions. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. And anyways, everybody, once again, thank you all for watching this week's episode of Fan Mail of the Week. I am your host, UnrealEntGaming. If you guys are fans, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for all latest news, information, and updates. If you guys enjoyed the episode, don't forget to hit it up or like and a favorite. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to check out my second channel at UnrealEnt Network, where you can find a whole bunch of stuff on there that you will not find on here. Once again, guys, thank you all for watching. God bless you all. I love you guys. Make sure you all have a wonderful weekend. The summer's coming up, so for those of you out there enduring bad weather or enduring a bad school semester, just take it easy. You're almost through with it, and good times are coming. So once again, guys, thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys in the next episode. Take it easy, everybody. Peace!